Hi everyone, thanks for watching. Before I begin, and due to the content of this video, I must once again reiterate that my channel is not political. Politics are not only the things of this world, but they are absolutely filled with all kinds of evil on both sides of the political aisle. Now that I've said that, let's get into this video. Today's video is on a subject that I've been thinking about in recent months, and that is Revelation 13:2, and specifically the reference to the feet of a bear and how it might relate to current world events. Yesterday, on February 1st, Missouri Senator Josh Hawley sent a letter to Secretary of State Antony Blinken. In that letter, Hawley wrote that the U.S. should shift resources from secondary theaters like Eastern Europe and focus instead on countering China's efforts to gain regional domination. Hawley urged against granting Ukraine membership in NATO, which coincidentally also just happens to be a contentious issue with Russia as they mass troops along Ukraine's border. While Hawley's letter was truly stunning to most in D.C., it's just the latest example of a remarkable surge on the right to take Russia's side on almost every matter. The most obvious proponent of Russia in recent months being Tucker Carlson, who is almost embarrassingly pro-Russia in much of his commentary. And we're seeing this more and more throughout the right, as one conservative politician or commentator after another looks to portray Russia as a true friend of the United States, or at the very least, a country that America shouldn't be too concerned over because China is our real enemy. All of this would have been completely unheard of just a few years back, as Republicans would have consistently and universally stood behind democracies around the world and alliances such as NATO rather than acquiescing to someone like Putin. What changed in the GOP over recent years was, obviously, Trump, who seemed to get along just fine with Vladimir Putin. In fact, in the 2016 Republican primary, where his opponents would stress that we should be wary of Russia, Trump stood out like a sore thumb as he embraced friendly U.S.-Russian relations. As we know, in the years after Trump won the 2016 election, there was much discussion as to whether the Trump campaign possibly colluded with Russia in order to gain an advantage in the election. While there was plenty of anecdotal evidence that they may have, there was no smoking gun. Personally speaking, I don't believe there was collusion, mostly because the Trump campaign was too incompetent to do so. Also, however, I don't even think that Trump wanted to win, as was evidenced by his not even having an acceptance speech ready on election night. That's not to say, however, that Russia didn't want Trump to win in 2016. After all, Trump's laissez-faire attitude to Russian aggression was basically a dream come true for the Kremlin. And I've no doubt that they also wanted him to win in 2020 and will again do so in 2024. Putting politics aside, I find it quite interesting that Revelation 13:2 describes the beast as having the feet of a bear and the mouth of a lion. The mouth of a lion is unquestionably a defining characteristic of Trump, and certainly one that he enjoys using at every opportunity. The feet of a bear is what supports the beast, and that is exactly what we've seen happening in recent years. Vladimir Putin has been quite complimentary of Trump, often playing to Trump's ego. Back in 2015, Putin said that Trump was a very colorful, talented person during his annual news conference. Trump quickly returned the compliment, stating, "It is always a great honor to be so nicely complimented by a man so highly respected within his own country and beyond. I have always felt that Russia and the United States should be able to work well with each other towards defeating terrorism and restoring world peace, not to mention trade and all the other benefits derived from mutual respect." Over the years, Putin has continued to praise Trump, which has never gone unnoticed by the former American president. There is no question that Russia's support for Trump will continue as he offers everything they want on a variety of fronts, from friendly relations to rejoining the G8 to downplaying the importance of NATO. As 2024 gets closer and closer, I am convinced that Russia will continue to support Trump returning to power in every way they can, overtly and covertly. And now that so many conservatives are looking to portray Russia as our friend, their efforts are getting easier all the time. I'm not saying that this is a direct fulfillment of Revelation 13:2, but it is certainly odd that the imagery of this Bible verse depicts the feet of a bear supporting the beast. And that seems to be exactly what is happening right in front of our eyes, as the man who perfectly matches the biblical description of the Antichrist is also being aided and abetted by the Russian bear. That's all for today. Thank you for taking a few minutes to watch, and if you care to leave a comment, please do. As always, kindly be respectful in any comment you leave, especially toward those with whom you disagree. I'll talk to you guys soon.